Newton's Law 3. Newton's third law states that if an object A exerts a force on object B, then object B must exert a force of equal magnitude and opposite direction back on object A. This law represents certain symmetry in nature. Forces always occur in pairs, and one body cannot exert a force on another without experiencing a force itself. This is a very common example, which is the table and the hand, or it could be the wall and the hand. The first thing you need to do when you get a question on Newton's third law is to identify the action force and the reaction force. So, take this example. A force exerted by your hand on the table is your action force. The table exerts a similar but opposite in direction force. That's the reaction force, because you first needed to put your hand on the table for it to exert a force back. So it has an equal magnitude but the opposite direction. Here is a similar example, but instead of your hand, it's the book. You have the book lying on the table, which exerts a force on the table, and then the reaction force being the table on the book. This is another common example being the rocket. If a rocket is launched vertically upwards, it's the action force. The gravitational force of the Earth on the rocket downwards is the reaction force. This happens in equal magnitude but opposite in direction. The gravitational force here just means the force of gravity. This could be the question. When walking, a person moves forwards, but the ground doesn't move backwards. Explain. The answer could be the action force is the person against the earth, whilst the reaction force is the earth against the person. Let's have a look at this photo. The force on the foot from the ground is when you walk, but the force on the ground from the foot. The foot exerts a force on the ground, and the ground exerts an equal and opposite force on the foot.
Fingers, air pushes out of the balloon. That's our action. Our reaction is that the balloon moves with the same force in the opposite direction.
That is a quick demonstration to video to show you what Newton's third law is like in real life.